Some of the coolest cars from the 80s and the 90s have pop-up headlights: the FD RX-7 Dorito, the Ferrari F40, and the Miata owners who use them anytime they see each other on the road. They make the car look sleek without having headlights that protrude like the Nissan Leaf does. So why don't we see them anymore? Well, let's talk about it. So let's break this up into a few parts. First, let's talk about why they were started and why they were so popular. Then what caused them to change, and finally what made them obsolete today. Pop-up headlights first started in early sports cars and concept vehicles which prioritized sleek low profiles for better aerodynamics and speed. Fixed headlights would have to sit higher on the car and protrude, which would affect airflow. Pop-up headlights solve this by staying flush with the hood when not in use, reducing drag and wind resistance during the day, and giving designers freedom to make low wedge-shaped front ends. From the 1940s through the 1980s, the United States mandated sealed beam headlights that were round or rectangular only, set in specific mounting positions and pretty much all the same shape and size. This limited creativity, but pop-up mechanisms let car makers hide those clunky standard lights during the day and comply with regulations at night, which is basically the best of both worlds. Pop-up headlights became a design trend and symbol of futuristic style, especially from the 1960s through the 1990s. They were often used in sports cars and exotic models like the Corvette C2 and the Lamborghini Miura, which cemented them as a design icon. One of the earliest production cars with pop-up headlights was the 1936 Cord 810, which had hand-cranked flip-up lights decades ahead of its time. But after this, they didn't become widespread until the 1960s and the 1970s. It wasn't until the early 2000s the EU introduced careful pedestrian protection standards requiring car manufacturers to design vehicles with softer, more impact-absorbing front ends. Also, pop-up headlights. With their protruding mechanisms, they posed a greater risk of injury in pedestrian collisions, making them non-compliant anymore with modern safety standards. Other regions, including the US and Japan, also adopted similar safety measures, making pop-up headlights increasingly difficult to justify. What doesn't feel good in an impact is a spring-loaded steel Miata eyeball flying 70 miles an hour at your head. When cars crash, things go flying. One thing they learned after cracking down on safety regulations was that pop-up headlights posed a danger. Fixed headlights are not only more safe, but they are easier to make as well. Billion-dollar companies will also do anything they can to save a buck. Pop-up headlights cost more money with more motors, gears, and sensors. It is technology that after 20 years starts to malfunction as well. Most older pop-up headlights need new parts pretty frequently to keep them working right, which is why a lot of people have opted to do aftermarket modifications on their pop-ups to leave them in a fixed position. Another reason they got rid of them is aerodynamics. Yes, when they are closed, your car is more aerodynamic, but the problem is the drag when they are open. Certain pop-ups made your car up to 10% less fuel efficient. A fixed headlight fixed this problem as they were just as aerodynamic as they were being molded to the car. As the automotive industry evolved, so did headlight technology and consumer preferences. The rise of LED and HID headlights made pop-up designs pretty obsolete. They provided improved performance with better brightness, more energy efficiency, and more durability. Companies now prioritize reliability, lower maintenance cost, and modern styling, all of which are fixed and better served by fixed headlights. The very last production car with pop-up headlights was the 2004 C5 Chevrolet Corvette. So if you own this year of the C5, you can add another tally to why your Corvette is truly a one of one, because you know every single Corvette is somehow a one of one. Will we ever get to see pop-ups again? As much as I love them and a lot of other car enthusiasts love them as well, the chances are pretty slim. With the safety regulations we have today on cars, they would have to get creative to work around them. Plus, with the extra cost of making them, I don't see many car companies taking that on. I wish Nissan could bring them back, as they had some of the coolest pop-up cars in the past, but they are already drowning at the bottom of the pool, so I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. One argument that I have is that there are many other cars on the road that pose more of a threat than pop-up headlights do. For instance, the Tesla truck. It's an ugly mirror blinding everyone around them, not to mention the corners are more sharp than PlayStation 1 Lara Croft's Gazungas. More of a problem than the Tesla truck drivers are the Altima drivers on the road. They are a serious concern, as you never know who they will hit, not if, but who and when. The odds are more likely we'll get pop-ups again than seeing an Altima without any damage on it. Do you agree that they should have gotten rid of pop-up headlights? Let me know your favorite car down below with pop-up headlights. My favorite is the Honda NSX. Anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. You guys are awesome and have a good one.